welcome to another episode of the Dave Perez Show. You know, in the past I've had guests from Emmy-nominated directors, producers to Grammy Award-winning artists, which I get the same with, and you saw. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Other than promoting local talent within the arts, I want to go on the opposite side of that and see how they get their opportunities to find a person, meet a person, to get them more opportunities. In other words, I'm going to have an interview with a person who's called an agency, an agent, as well as there's managers and agents, but I'm going to let them describe all that fun stuff to you. So I'm shutting up and I'm going to introduce you to the owner, co-founder, proprietor, all-around sweet person of the rock agency, Raquel Repka.
Hello there, how are you?
I am speechless, as you see.
Speechless is good.
Yeah. You know, I've been in this industry theater-wise and film-wise and stuff, and I've had different artists on the show, but I thought, you know what, I've never had, I mean, those artists have to have someone to get in those gigs.
The background of it all.
Yeah, the unglorified people. We get the praise, and if I hold that award now, I want to thank all the people that made this possible.
Absolutely.
Me.
We hope that you thank us, but even if it's in the background. It's all good.
So, you know, I was talking to my producer on the way here, and we're just going over a couple of things I might ask, and you know, it's different from your perspective, because I'll ask more questions in a minute, other things, but you know, at 5 years old, your mom came up to you and said, "Honey, do you want to join Brownies?" And you're like, "No, Mommy, I want to be a talent agent, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I want to make people stars." I mean, at what point in your life did you decide?
I did not know that I wanted to do this. I don't know that this was necessarily a dream ever. I started as a model. I was in the industry.
Oh, okay.
I basically put myself through college modeling, and when I was home during the semesters, I was working in the background at the agency. So I was either the front desk girl, or I was eventually helping book, or I was just the intern doing whatever was around.
Gotcha.
And if I was off on a modeling contract, because I would go off and model in Tokyo or places like that for short periods of time. I was earning my money to put myself through college, and while I was home, I was studying, and then I was, after hours here in the agency, just doing that. Yeah. So I will say my entire time that I was in college, I went to the School of Business for Marketing and Management, which makes sense, but I had an advisor in college that said to me every semester, "You should take this small business management course. It's really amazing." And I kept thinking, oh no, I'm going to be a big wig with a suit and a briefcase and work in this ginormous company. Never took it.
Wow.
Never took it, weirdly. But I did end up in my junior year of college taking a course where I had to write a business plan.
Okay.
So I just, because it was right in front of me, wrote a business plan to buy the agency that I was working for. Or for the agency. So it was actually a college assignment, and once I did it, and once I went through the entire process of, figuring it all out, I was, I can do that. Why am I not doing that?
Well, yeah, it falls in the lines of what you were doing prior anyway, to some degree.
Yeah. So it was within my experience level, and I had the business acumen to do it at that point. Once I figured out all the details that would be involved in running it, making it happen. So. Long story short, by the time I graduated, I had put in an anonymous offer. I didn't feel enough confidence necessarily to go to the owner of the agency and offer anything. So I hired an accountant and a lawyer, and they went in anonymously for me, and it took about a year to negotiate. And the rest is history. Yes.
So how long have you owned the agency?
This is going to give you my age, and that's so not fair.
Everyone, you're home.
In 1993, I bought it. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's been going great.
Great.
And the mother office, the main office, is in Madison.
Yes. So I went to school in Madison, Wisconsin, and I ran the office out of there for many, many years. It was very much a commercial lifestyle agency. So we repped babies to grandparents, and we did mostly product-based, clientele. We didn't do a ton of TV. We didn't do a ton of anything else. And then eventually, I ended up here, and we just kept expanding. So now we do all media. So we have agents that do everything. So.
Which I might say I'm one of their talent. So book me. Book me.
Call us. Yeah.
They're awesome. Rock agency. Laura Alexander. I threw it.
Yes, she's amazing. She's amazing.
She's cool. You are cool too. So when you first got into it, I mean, it had to have been like overwhelming, right? I mean, you know, like we were talking earlier. I know that this side of the camera, that side's hard. You know.
It is. It's different. Although I enjoy it better. I have to say I certainly did my fair share of modeling. I wasn't great at it. I really like the other end of it. I like the business end of it. I like to, on a daily basis, also get to see people excited because they booked something. I mean, it's one of the most brilliant jobs on the planet because you're constantly making people happy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're following their dreams. First of all, this is a job that is usually somebody's dream. So every single day we get to be like, you booked it. You booked it.
Yeah. I like going on different media sites and seeing the people, you know, from the agency, you know, booked it. And there's all the heads, you know, they did PD, they did fire, I did Proven Innocent. There's a couple things I've done as well, commercials. But yeah, and you know, and this industry, you know as well as I, it's an industry you got to hustle.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, not even as an actor, but you guys are the ones out there getting us the opportunities to audition. That's got to be hard because you came from modeling. Did you have any mentors across the time where they said, "Hey, man, jump into the film work and commercial work"? Or
it was actually, you said Laura Alexander. It was actually her that. I mean, she really convinced me to do this end of it. She lives and breathes it in general, and she loves the entire concept of it. So I've kind of given her that reign to just go wild with it. Yeah. It was a little bit of a learning curve, and I will say it's still for me a little bit of a learning curve. Once you get into the union contracts and everything that's involved,
I've held off on union for the last 2.5 years or so, I believe it is, and now I'm at the point where I talk to all the union actors. They're like, "No, go union," you know, and you should. If it's a toss-up between a non-union and a union, they'll take you. You know.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, it's a necessary evil. It's just a lot of learning. It's a lot of learning to get down to all the nooks and crannies of every single rate and everything that needs to happen on set, and you know, all the rules. But it's lovely that they have it all. I mean, they're taking care of their actors. So.
And actually, even with that being said, you know, you guys took the jump, and now you're a SAG franchise.
Yes, indeed.
Which, woohoo! Now I can join SAG. I wasn't until they said they were going to. But yeah, no, that's something that occurred this past summer, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
Last summer, fall.
Fall, yeah.
How's that been working out better?
Really, really great. This is our first pilot season. It's again overwhelming. So it's a battle also to make sure that you have the most amazing talent, but then all of the auditions come through, and you want to make sure you have the right look, but they also have to be super talented, and it's a constant struggle. It's also a constant struggle to keep up with it. There are so many opportunities in this market. It's impressive.
The only thing, I did an interview with John Ross, he's Emmy nominated, producer, director, actor as well, and I said, I just wish they would cast more leading roles from Chicago rather than Hollywood. Yeah. And he kind of smiled at me, he goes, we'll talk later about that. And, you know, bottom line is it's where the market is, it's where specific things are, and it doesn't mean you can't be casted that way here. Right. It's just you have, once again, it all comes down to talent.
It does.
You know, we had that conversation off screen about that. And it is. You gotta have the talent to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Now, if it wasn't doing what you're doing now, what would you want to be? Would you still want to be modeling? Would you want to? You said you took business courses.
I can honestly say I can't fathom doing anything else. And that I feel really blessed. I mean, not many people find what they love to do in life, but I can't imagine doing anything else. I like it every single day. I get up in the morning and I enjoy going to work, and I often don't go home as soon as I should. I often don't put the computer down as early as I should.
So don't get mad at me when I'm not home as often.
Yeah, and I love it. I work too much, but I never feel like I'm working. And if everyone could find that, and I feel like part of what's also wonderful is I'm working with people who are able to do that. Because if you're an actor, you love it. So we're amongst people that are so lucky to be able to make a living off of a dream and a love, as opposed to going to work and working.
Absolutely. I mean, but I mean, even as a younger child, did you have any ambitions of being anything else other? Because were you like, I want to be a model when I'm 5? Because that's my granddaughter does that every now and then. I'm aging myself now.
I'm sure there was I want to be a model.
You just don't remember no more because you love what you're doing.
No, I do. I love what I'm doing. I wanted to be a model for a little bit. I think when I was in school, I wanted to be. I told everybody that asked me what I wanted to be before I actually knew I was doing this that I was just going to be a student forever because I like to learn, which is maybe part of the reason that I'm really loving this whole SEG franchise thing and all of the learning that's involved, because everything that I do every day, I'm learning something new, and I'm meeting new people, and that's all there. But I really like to learn.
And that's the other side of it too, because you became a SAG franchise. Now you open yourself up to SAG actors who would like to come this way. There's different agencies all over the place. But have you ever thought about branching out to the coasts, LA and?
I have actually in the past. I ran a management company in Los Angeles for a few years, simply because I had a lot of actors that started here and wanted to relocate, and that's where they went. So I ended up helping them out there, signing them with agencies, working on that level. So I did the management side for a little bit, and that was fun. I certainly could do it, but there's a lot to tackle here, so I don't want to spread myself too thin. And I have a lot of really, really good friends that are out there, and we work well together. So everything can be covered. If I have someone that needs representation out there, I know exactly who I can work with and place them with, who will take good care of them, and then we can work well together anyway. So there's a good. This industry is surprisingly tiny.
Chicago especially.
Yeah.
I know everybody.
I will say worldwide, I think it's tiny. The number of agencies that are in the world, we kind of all know each other. All the, everybody that owns an agency or works in an agency, we kind of have this little network that we're constantly working together, which is great because you can certainly ask for advice from anybody. It's, you can really get a good net of a group of people to manage a career of somebody. So I think it's great.
I had a friend, I still have a friend, Skip, and I coached his daughter in high school soccer years ago, and he finally saw I was an actor. He goes, dude, you were playing professional soccer for a while, now you're an actor, what the? And he goes, my daughter's a talent agent. She does that stuff in LA, she's been doing it for 15 years. And Courtney Evans. And she contacted me, we talked, and she goes, you gotta be out here, Dave. You gotta be out here. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm in Chicago, Court. I'm in Chicago. So she goes, just come out for a weekend and visit. Walk you around and introduce you. We'll talk. And so
it's interesting though. I sort of agree with the whole you have to be out there. If you look at the breakdowns that come through in the world, you see so many more, obviously, in Los Angeles than you're going to see in Chicago. But I will also say, over the course of the last too many years that I've been doing this, the number of times that now we can put something on tape to submit somewhere else increases every year, and the world is getting so much smaller with digital media. It's amazing.
Yeah, because I don't want to leave Chicago.
I know.
I don't want to leave you guys ever.
As much as I love the sunshine in LA, not my favorite place to be.
Well, everybody, my producer, my daughter, she's an actress too. My granddaughter actually came here for an interview and stuff. She's a little actress too. I want to go to LA, and I'm like, I just don't want to leave Chicago. I think we have such a great market. We have so many places to film here.
We do.
Yeah, Chicago's got to work with us as a filmmaking, other than CineSpace. But it's great. It's great here. I brought something up when I first started about agent and manager. Can you tell the difference between that so they know? I kind of know.
Well, I can say in general, legally the difference is an agent is the only entity that's allowed to submit you, and a manager is supposedly only there to advise you, to train you, to help negotiate a contract, to do that end of it, help you with your headshots, help you with making sure you're well prepared for your audition and all of that other side stuff. The lines sometimes cross depending on who you're dealing with, but those are the basic differences.
Gotcha. I just met with an actor who's he's a Chicago actor. Has a great story behind him. I'm going to interview him end of this week as well. He's done tons of stuff on several different TV shows, PD, but through Hollywood. He's gotten principal roles, and he's been doing this for a while. And I asked him about that, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't have an agent, I'm a manager." And I'm kind of like, okay, well, managers generally manage only a few people, and that's
yes,
it.
correct.
Because their percentage is so much out of the millions that other people make, rather than specific amounts of money that other agents make, that they can afford to only have 5 clients. Like the Tom Cruises of the world, or Brad Pitts and such, or the Dave Perez's of this world. So that was my conversation with him. He said the same thing. I'm like, no, man, Chicago's where it's at. It's going to be booming, and I see it growing.
It definitely is.
I see it growing.
It definitely.
I mean, you went from Madison to a Chicago office as well, and you're not going to contemplate the East-West Coast. Now,
not anytime soon.
I found out through SAG that you've got to join 3 SAGs. LA, you don't have to, but you can join here, but you can't do work in NYC. You can, but you got to pay their SAG, and then LA you got to pay their SAG.
Unfortunately.
Oh my God.
I know.
But it is what it is. It's a business that we all love.
It is, and and if you take advantage of everything that SAG has to offer, it's worthy. I mean, it sounds like a scary big chunk of change in the beginning, but
you're an investor. It's an investment in you.
It's an investment in your career, and it's an investment in a business. And I kind of feel like this business in general, as much as people complain about how expensive everything is, like the headshots are a lot, SAGs, all that sort of thing, it is the cheapest business you can start and make a ton of money at. Yeah. If you think about it.
My first bigger gig was, before I even joined the agency, was a Prudential commercial, a SAG Prudential commercial. And the money I made off of that, residuals.
Right.
Oh my God. That money to join the union, I should have right away, but I thought, you know what, let me get more under my feet first.
Which there's something to be said about building the resume before you know.
Well, and then, matter of fact, just today, so the audience knows, I got a residual check from Proven Innocent, which I gotten from an audition that you guys got. And I landed it, and I still get paychecks, though they weren't picked up a second season, I still get paid for what I did. So that's really,
I just love that.
Really cool.
How nice is that?
It mailbox money,
Just shows up, you don't even know what's going to happen.
Dang it, I can't afford no Starbucks today. Oh, wait a minute. I can get my cafe latte and not regular coffee.
Exactly.
Cool. Atlanta's big and booming too, I hear.
It is. I visited there a year ago. I guess it's been a little bit now, but I was shocked.
How about shifting things? I know the coast would be hard. Slowly.
Yeah.
But, maybe
Atlanta would be a possibility. It's not out of the question. I have not decided that I'm not going to do more. I just am the type of person that wants to make sure that I'm taking care of everything that's happening in one market before I move on to the next. Everybody needs to be taken care of here. It needs to be a smooth, well-oiled machine. Everybody needs to be working. I need to make sure it's all perfect before I spread my wings elsewhere.
I never thought of it that way. I've always thought hit it while it's hot, but ultimately not. It is in some scenarios, but not this one. Yeah, you got to make sure you're doing the right things here, because hundreds and hundreds of people, us actors, are counting on that, for the good representation we get. And we get, I've gotten, very good representation as far as that goes. Whatever's out there, Laura's going to send it to me.
Absolutely.
And now it's on me. Once that's done, if I book it, then good job, Dave, for all of us, And if I don't, then I got to think about trying to do something better next time, or not to do something I did. And that's the fun part about acting. So, what are some of the bigger and greatest things you guys have done here as far as the movie productions, just to name a few?
Oh, I don't know about movie productions.
Proven Innocent. And
I was just going to say, you have all of that sort of thing. That would be, I'm not going to lie to you. There's a list. And Laura would be able to give you that list. My headspace is not always on all the actual productions that are happening and going on. We have different, obviously, we have 10 people working at the agency, and they all have their own thing that they're focusing on, so that they're certain that it gets done correctly, nothing falls through the
loopholes and such.
Whatever. So I'm not necessarily focusing on that. Laura and Kari are the two that are working on that end of the world at this point, and each of the agents that we have working with us has a different set of talent that they work with and a different set of clients that they're working with, so that everything's covered. So I can't necessarily
give that being said,
I focus on other things. I honestly, we were talking about learning. One of the things that I have been focusing on recently is influencer marketing, which sounds crazy. Well, actually, it sounds crazy to me because I feel like I'm too old to understand all of this. However, it's amazing the way we're able to kind of do a little bit of both. Like any booking that we get, there's so much more that can be done once we get to adding on something on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that. It's brilliant. The world is changing.
Wow.
Even the acting world.
You know, and there was a question that popped in my head that referred to that, exactly what you're saying. You know, after you've just booked or whatever, and you know, you got to keep a good rapport. You know, and rapport comes from your side when you know you meet and you schmooze people, whether it's the cast, other casting people, or directors, whoever. But it's also on our end as actors on set. You know, don't be schmucks.
Thank you.
You know, we represent an agency, and they got me this opportunity, and I think that comes with experience. You know, because I've been on sets where I've seen other actors ready for an audition, and they're highly, you know, respectful and stuff. But there's other ones that are just, you know, there's a protocol.
There is, and there's an attitude. What you said earlier about we can get you the opportunity, and you have to get it done afterwards.
Yeah, the
and
door's open.
Unfortunately, not everybody understands that concept, but that's a very big point that we try to make when we are dealing with an actor. First of all, I want it to be teamwork. It's you and I together doing whatever we need to do. Nobody's in charge. We're both doing it equally. And if we can go through that process together, then everyone's going to be more successful.
Well, it's funny because the film I'm doing now, the feature film I'm producing and doing independently, I have a few really good actors and actresses, and I advised one to talk to Laura. Hope she did. She said she did. Multi-talented. But one came up to me and said, "Hey man, how many bookings did they get you?" And I'm like, "Well, they didn't get me any bookings. They got me auditions. It's up to me to get the bookings, you know." So they got me several opportunities, and I had a high percentage, in my opinion, as an actor. Okay, if you get say 10 auditions, what's your percentage of bookings? You know, and I'd like to keep it to 2 to 3, and that's pretty decent. And I've kept it to that so far with, I think, with what I've gotten through here. I haven't been even a year yet.
You have no idea how much we appreciate that attitude.
Yeah, and it's not even, you know, it's the truth. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I gotten that from experienced actors prior to stepping into the rock agency. It's like, dude, they'll get you an opportunity, but you got to knock it out. If you don't, it might not even be your fault. They might see you live and say, you know, we're going to go with another person. And he's sagging, you're not, whatever.
Yeah, whatever the reason is, yeah.
You know, blue eyes, brown eyes, they know all this, but that's what casting's about.
Right.
But, so yeah, it's I think there's a misconception from some actors, you know. How many bookings are they going to get you? They're not going to get you any bookings. They'll get you auditions.
I can get you in the room, but I can't go in the room with you. You got to do it from there,
How bad do you want it? Because once you're there, then you got to be prepared. And that's another story that I'm going to have with Laura. Maybe I'll interview Laura one day and say, you got to be prepared. You got to know your lines. You got to know this.
And don't be a schmuck.
And don't be a
schmuck.
Be good. I have a theory doing castings, because I've helped with other things, casting, just volunteering so I can learn both sides.
Yeah.
And if I give someone sides 2 weeks in advance for 3 sentences, and they come to that audition and they're holding up their sides, and it's like, you know, okay, I swear to God, I hope you're like Robert De Niro. You know, you're a great actor, and you're having it for safety. But no 3 lines, because if I cast you and you don't know a paragraph of lines, then I'm screwed. And that's something, you know, as an agency, so if someone wanted to be represented and they wanted to contact you, what would be their first steps? What would they need to even make a phone call and say?
You can actually submit online for us. So we just need to see a picture. If you are an actor, we would like to see a video, and it doesn't have to be even a full-on, you know, produced demo reel. In general, we can start with just a monologue that you tape, but we just need to start with that. And I will honestly say, the other thing that you have to remember if you're submitting, if you're a new person and you're submitting, if we say no, it might not have anything to do with even your acting ability. I might already have someone that looks exactly like you, and we don't want that either. So that's all we need.
For a little bit of advice for our fellow actors who might be watching, look at their talent site and see who they have on their male, or if you're a female, and look at what brings you out differently than everyone they got. You know, if you're ambiguous, that's great. I can play an Italian, I can play a Greek, I could play Arabic. I could play, Latino. I could play Caucasian. I played every genre. But that would be, I think, key for also anyone who wants to contact someone.
100%.
Do homework first.
Yes.
See if they are SAG, not SAG. See if they, they're coast to coast. See if they're local.
And I also will say, you're interviewing the agents. A lot of people walk into an agency and think, oh my gosh, I need to make these people like me, or I need to. You are interviewing us. When I said before that it's a 50-50, like it's teamwork to make a career.
Yeah.
It's 100% teamwork. You need to like who you're dealing with. You need to like your agent as well. So remember that. Come in with questions.
Absolutely. I've learned that. And I know we got like a minute left, but I've done like over 20 short films in Chicago, and I learned after like 12, I won't audition unless it's lead. And every time I audition for a lead, they ask me, you have any questions? Yeah, what will you be shooting with? Because I don't want them to get out there with a Canon TI, walking around, one camera shot, two camera shot, what you're lighting, you use a zoom, what are you using for sound? Because I want it to be quality at this point, because I have to hand something to an agency at some point to show quality. So it's more or less, actors, do your homework. There is stuff that you need to do. They're going to love you anyway because you're all nice people. But I know I'm running short on time here, so I'm going to try to wrap it up. I'm going to give all the information for the Rock Agency and yourself on credits. So look at the credits afterwards because they're going to be really cool. And I hope that you guys at one point expand too.
All right, we'll work on it. Let me get there slowly.
But I will expand to get my Starbucks. So Raquel, it was awesome.
It was fantastic to chat with you.
Awesome.
Yes.
I gotta go say hi to Laura Alexander.
Yes.
So thank you for another episode of Day Press Show and being here. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. All my information is at the credits as well. And I look forward to seeing you very soon. So until then, goodbye.